I'm too positive to be doubtful, too optimistic to be fearful. So all my time I spend cheerful, and I know exactly what I'm here for. I'm too positive to be doubtful, too optimistic to be fearful. So all my time I spend cheerful, and I know exactly what I'm here for. I'm too positive to be doubtful, too optimistic to be fearful. So all my time I spend cheerful, and I know exactly what I'm here for. I'm too positive to be doubtful, too optimistic to be fearful. So all my time I spend cheerful, and I know exactly what I'm here for.
Bruh, these elder gods really do have a weakness. Uh-oh. What it do? It's your boy, Dragon Ball Art 92, and I'm back with another BAM reaction video. Yes, today we back on our Ultra Vegeta hype, y'all. We got a good one today, y'all. Goku and Vegeta finally returns after 1,000 years.
You serious?
Oh man, you know this about to be fire. But before we get to the content today, you guys, make sure you hit that like button so that way we can be seen by a broader audience. Also, if you're new here, I just want to sincerely thank you for coming by and enjoying content with us today. Here at Dragon Ball Art 92, we do reaction videos. Dragon Ball everything reaction videos. So if you're a Dragon Ball fan and you like reaction videos, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. And also hit that bell notification so you can be updated whenever your boy drop a video. Now, I ain't gonna hold y'all for real though, bro. Let's get to the content.
I told you, Vegeta. You have no idea what the rest of Zeus's creations are capable of. Tread lightly, you inferior Saiyan. How did he just do that to Kranoa? So our story continues with the stunning reintroduction of Ardos, who had come not only to deal with the God Killer now that Zeus was absent, but just moments earlier had done the unthinkable, resisting Elder God Kranoa's time freeze, and even knocking her away into the distance like she.
I ain't even gonna lie, bro. He smacked the out of her, bro. Real talk. Bro, she tried to freeze him in time, bro. He was like, this ain't gonna work. No, you go get yours. Autos was going hard. I don't know if I say this. Autos, or I probably didn't say the name right, bro. But yeah, bro, gonna be a challenge for real, bro. Let's get back to it.
You were nothing to him. This mysterious third son of Zeus. And eagerly now looking at Vegeta with his head tilted forward like a predator on the way to pounce. Cockily, Ardos would continue. You see now, God Killer. Not even time itself will stop me. No Elder God. No plot armor. King was only Father's first creation. Only the beginning of what terrors I will make you experience for upsetting him. And with that said, Ardos would then menacingly begin walking forward, his bare feet creating more and more pressure in the environment with each step. This guy, who knows what he can do if he got rid of Kranoa that easy? And Vegeta, visibly disturbed, taken off his usual confidence, would immediately then raise his hands, unsure at all about just how he would fare, even while transformed, against this mysterious foe. 2 back-to-back fights with Zeus's warriors. My energy I lost using those Elder Eyes still hasn't recovered. Zeus, get your old ass out here!
Vegeta is spooked. This is the first time I seen bro like, damn! You know what I mean? So he already know that he's outmatched. How is he gonna win this tournament, bro? You know what I mean? Like it's interesting, bro. He got to do a lot of training. If Autos took out Kranoa that quick, who he gonna have in his corner, bro? You feel me?
I'd have to do with it.
No, he's got a point.
But I know that one slap didn't put her out of commission, period, bro. So let's see what happens.
And as Ardos would approach, the God Killer's instinct would be more heightened than ever until... Not one, but both Ardos and Vegeta now would be left stunned, stopping both their movements instantly like they were frozen, neither not quite sure what was going on, but slowly Vegeto's eyes would peer down and... What? Below the two of them, a strange symbol, splashed in what looks like blood itself, would appear out of nowhere. The kind of symbol that could only be an elder hieroglyph. This is that witch again! Doesn't she learn? These things don't work on me anymore. Huh? But just as Ardos would try to break free of this time ability again, he would stare at his hand and notice something was off. My hand! As in a fraction of a second.
She not playing. She getting her payback, bro. And he can't break this one. So obviously they have probably higher levels of the hieroglyph that they can use. Maybe some of their techniques in the hieroglyphs are weaker than others, which would make sense because it's kind of like, battling. Some techniques in battling are stronger than others. So I would kind of see it that way. But he did break one of her hieroglyphs, and that shows the depth of this dude's power. But obviously he can't handle her because she's taking care of it right now. Let's get back to it, Brad.
It would rapidly be aging, wrinkling and crumpling inwards to a decrepit, elderly grasp. What is this? Stop it! Stop it now! The horrors, though, would continue as his whole body would be facing the same rapid aging, like time was moving forward solely for his body and his body alone, from old to now ancient in a flash, as from the smoke of where Elder God Cronoa was struck, a female silhouette would be seen getting up casually. My, oh my, to think you would strike me, my dear boy Ardos. I had always assumed the first son of Zeus I would kill would be Echo Bell, but it seems you will have that honor now. You will be an example for all these lowly pawns not to ever think you can fight against those who ascended above all. As staring forward with her crimson red eyes now adorned by the infinity symbol. Help me! But now truly a husk, barely even a living thing, this leathery mess that was Ardos now would...
That was a cold statement that she made, bro. And she's making him pay. You know what I mean?
You serious?
And the way that these elder gods look at the people that's beneath them, bro, is horrendously bad, bro, because the lower beings have the capability of ascending past them. So they better be careful on how they look at these lower beings.
It is time to take back what is mine. I will not live my life as your second.
So-called. Let's get back to it.
Fall straight to his knees, leaving Vegeta now able to move, but still just staring down in bemusement, before almost feeling sorry for the warrior, commenting, horrible. Cronoa turned me into a baby. I should have known she could do something like this too. What a terrible way to die. Whatever he did earlier, it seems I won't get the chance to ask how he did it. But either way, It doesn't seem to work on this hieroglyph. Ardos, no point asking for help now. You struck me. Now you will pay the price. You're so very lucky. It's even taking this long. Had you been a mortal, you would have aged 100 years and into dust in seconds. But unfortunately, because you are the son of Zeus, I'm having to age you tens of thousands of years every second. A waste of my divine...
Damn. Tens of thousands of years per second?
What?
How long does this dude live for? What? They can't be eternal beings or anything like that, bro. I'm pretty sure they don't live forever, but jeez. Wow, bro. And having that type of ability is insane. Can you imagine, bro, being able to control time to that degree, bro?
Your rent's due, mother.
Bruh. Nobody needs to have that type of power. Let's get back to it.
energy. But worth it to see scum like you suffer. To think you thought you could ever have been an elder god with your disrespect. But just as Ardos would begin breathing his final breaths, the elder hieroglyph on the floor would begin to dismantle abruptly. What happened? What? There is no way. The elder glyph is breaking? Zeus, is he back? As now it would be both Vegeta and Cronoa standing lost for words in this up and down roller coaster of a situation. It's gone! Ardos, how are you doing this? As soon the remnants of the glyph would now be rising up all around Vegeta and Ardos, the God Killer, only able to suspect Zeus' son as once again being the counter to Cronoa. This cannot be, Ardos! I refuse to believe it! Someone else is interfering! But who? There! As soon enough, Cronoa would get her answer of who could possibly have now stopped her most elite time ability. As up in the sky, an unknown fighter would be levitating in watch. Can you adults behave for even 1 second? How embarrassing. As up in the sky would be the same hooded figure that had interrupted Vegeta before, stopping him from fighting Lucif early, now stopping Ardos' defeat also. His hand outstretched, hardly looking like he had placed much effort into stopping an elder god's ability.
Hey, bro, I wonder who this dude is, bro, because he been like interfering in different situations and actually fixing it or dispersing the problem, bro. So I'm wondering, bro, and for him to have the strength to break up that elder hieroglyph, bro, it's insane, bro. You know what I mean? And it seemed like he was on Vegeto's side. So I'm quite interested, bro. This is a real mystery. Also, I'm wondering, what is Zeus plotting? You know what I'm saying? For giving them 24 hours or 48 hours, one of the two, you know, before the matches began again, you know, giving them time to train. I'm just curious on what is he plotting. You know what I mean? This is about to get really, really interesting, bro. Let's get back to it.
I'm coming back! As Ardos in response rapidly would begin returning back to his normal self, all of Cronoa's attack being reversed immediately, much to the relief of the warrior of Zeus. Cronoa, that was too close! That damn witch! As once fully returned to normal, muscle structure and all, on his knees, Ardos would look like he had ironically been blessed by a god. When Zeus hears about this, Cronoa, you will pay. Your whole team would have been erased if you destroyed me. Getting up shakily until... And you, God Killer, this is not over. You will not be protected forever. Watch your back. As utterly furious with a mixture of embarrassment and rage, veins would spontaneously...
I can understand why bro embarrassed, bro. You know what I'm saying? He got rendered down to like a child. You know what I mean? He couldn't do nothing against that attack that Cronoa just did to him, bro. He couldn't do nothing. You know what I mean? Of course he mad. He like, man, I'm about to tell Pops. And then telling Vegeta to watch his back. But yeah, that's quite interesting, bro. You know what I mean? Vegeta got a lot of enemies that he ain't even met, bro. But also at the same time, he got a lot of friends, bro, that he don't even know of, bro. So it makes it even. You feel me? It's a well-balanced storyline. Let's get back to it.
Here all over Ardos's now plump red face. Until just like that, clearly wanting to avoid any more dances with death, Ardos would vanish away quickly back to where he came from. Silly punk! Annoying Cronoa, as she would realize she had missed her chance to lay down the ultimate punishment for injuring her. Oh no! But of injury, suddenly it would seem more would come the Elder God's way, as feeling a sharp pain, a line of blood would then be seen coming down her nose. As she unceremoniously would then fall to her knees, like her energy was being zapped away, huffing and puffing, and she would let out... Using that much energy on the Elder Hieroglyph has taken its toll. Seems my body isn't quite as young and fit as it used to be. So, these Elder Gods do have some drawbacks.
Vegeta spotted what I spotted too. Like, oh, they got weaknesses, bruh. Oh, they definitely can be beat. You feel me? And they're actually showing it right now, which was a bad thing for the Elder Gods to be all a part of it, because their weaknesses are about to be exposed to the mortals. And whatever mortal want to try to, take over or whatever, might have the opportunity to do that, knowing some of their weaknesses as well. Knowledge is power, bro. Let's get back to it.
As the always on the alert and analytical Vegito would be quick to notice and think silently. But with danger seemingly averted, Vegito would then return to base. But looking up to the sky, he would take notice of the hooded figure, also just lamenting, him again. Seems Green Seraphim wasn't the only surprise he had. Just another fighter that could be a big problem for me. But regardless of these thoughts, the God Killer wouldn't exactly be afraid to make a second confrontation, as he would then fly straight up towards the figure, coming up face to face, before he would then ask, "You're full of tricks, aren't you? You going to just keep following me around, or are you going to tell me who you are? I need to know how you even did that. How did you stop an Elder God's technique?" To which the smirking mystery figure would respond, "With power, of course. Power you uniquely should have. Just like Ardos and I. Perhaps you've forgotten where you came from, Mr. Devil."
Whoa. Now, if that wasn't a Blue's Clues.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
Bruh. So something about the devil or being the devil is key to unlocking the weaknesses of these elder gods. That's quite interesting, bro. But I'm wondering what about it is going to actually help them in battle if they had to battle these elder gods. It's a good question, bro. Let's get back to the storyline because it's really getting deep.
Devil! This final line leaving Vegeta confused, yearning for more information. But before he could even get this information, the figure would just begin dissipating himself, turning into a flock of black crows, just saying finally, "All will be revealed in due time. Prepare your fighters. I have a feeling I will be facing them very soon." This exchange now leaving the God Killer in a mess of thoughts, but one was for certain. He definitely needed to prepare the rest of his fighters for opponents like this. But elsewhere in a familiar cave, Ultra Vegeta wouldn't be the only fusion that was deep in thought of what to do next, as Omni Vegito and Castiel would then be seen together, now having returned themselves from their meeting with Hera and his new fighter, Gogito. Well, that was certainly an interesting turn of events. To think Hera would be looking for new fighters this late in the tournament. I have no idea why he thinks my father will allow it, but if he does, no doubt in my mind that Gogito will pose a serious problem to us all. His power was unusually high. Scary, even. Are you kidding me? What exactly was scary? I stopped him like he were nothing. Did you not see or something? As Omni Vegito would adamantly just fire back. But it would be at this point the Archangel would explain, about that. I observed that little interaction, but I believe that was far less to do with you matching his power, Vegito. I believe it was something to do with those eyes of yours. There appears to be a connection. The white and black seraphim. When you two locked eyes, I could detect a harmony in your energies. They were interacting somehow. I suspect if he fought you, you would be unlikely to damage him either, even if you used your true power. Castiel thinks there's someone I can't beat. Impossible. And this word alone would freeze the Omni King.
I find it kind of funny, right? That excuse me, that Omni Vegito don't even find Ultra Vegito a threat, even after all the power that he gained over these little times. I wonder how strong Omni Vegito really is, bro. I think we're gonna find out later on in the tournament, but it's quite interesting. And this Gogito, he's insane, bro. I can't wait to see him fight. Let's get back to it.
Nobody knew his limits better than the elder god that trained him, but after hearing about the connection between the black and white seraphim, Vegeta would realize, wait, is that why he said he would take my eyes? What does Gogito know that I don't? As he would think back to the final words of Gogito just before he left. But even deep in thought, a foot would approach, as finally Jiren the Grey would reappear and immediately be down to business asking, where have you two been? The clock is ticking. We have training to do. You've all seen what monsters are here. To which Castiel would just respond awkwardly, we had a little detour. But you're right about one thing. You all need to train more. But now visibly stressed, the Omni King would add, "Tell me something I don't know, Jiren. We're nowhere near ready to win this as we are. Apparently not even I am ready, according to Castiel. Luckily for us though, I have just the thing to get us up to par." As Omni Vegeta would then begin reaching into one of his pockets. "A gift from an elder god. This will be on another level to the places we trained before. Time will move even slower. It could be hundreds or thousands of years we get within these 48 hours.
So that meeting that Cronoa had with them, obviously she gave them something to kind of help them prepare for the tournament. And you got to think to yourself, okay, she must be setting up some type of alliance just in case Vegito, Ultra Vegito, turns on her. That's what I'm thinking in my mind, because what other reason would she do that for? And did she think that Castiel's team would turn on him? I'm quite interested to know. Let's get back to it though.
We'll use what we need. As in Vegeto's hand now would be a strange miniature hourglass. And when he would lift it up, a red portal would open up to the surprise of everyone. The hourglass beginning to drop sand down and count down the minute he would do so. As staring forward, as wind would be sucked in like it were a black hole, the Omni King would say with a smirk, "Cronoa gave this to me, Castiel. She has a plan up her sleeve. One that involves us getting stronger and taking out the other teams in her way. But I won't let it happen how she thinks. We'll use this to our advantage and outsmart her." Huh? Cronoa gave you this? Leaving Castiel truly befuddled, wondering just like Omni Vegeta and Piccolo did, why an opposing elder god would ever aid them. But a green hand, talking of Piccolo, would then come onto Castiel's shoulder, as Dragon God Piccolo, now also on the scene, would ensure, "I was there too, and I tested it already. It works just as she said, and will be key to us getting stronger. I don't know why she's so sure this won't backfire on her, but this can only benefit us for now. I'm in." As finally with a grin,
Wait, I just thought about something, y'all. So what if, this is just what if, right? That realm that she allowed them to enter, when they go in there and they battle, what if the realm is absorbing their energy to give to Vegito? Ooh, that'll be a cold cut. You feel me? Like, oh man. But that's just one of my theories, bro. But man, that'd be insane work. Let's get back to it.
Omni Vegeta would command, "Good, so it's all agreed. Everyone get in. Bring the boys too. We need to make sure this Gogito and that God Killer have no clue what's coming for them next time we meet." But as one team would just be beginning their training arc, it would seem in the very next panel, with two fighters rushing straight in at each other, another team was in the midst of theirs. Brother! As we would now return to Charlotte and Cumber, both fighters no longer pretending and transformed into their most powerful forms, colliding fist and elbow in a spar where they would be going with everything they had, one draped in black armor and the other draped in golden. Cumber! As Cumber in his ascension to an Akari god form would be first to land a right hook right across his brother's cheek. Charlotte! But only for the sibling to respond back instantly, striking back across his opposite cheek. While Charlotte's next attack, in the form of a violent roundhouse kick, would then be blocked by Kumba's armored greaves. And as Kumba would be sent backwards from the impact, however, the dual-winged Charlotte, in his archangel-like form, clearly influenced by his devil side, would be seen flying forward with extreme speed. Too slow, brother! But at the last second, Kumba, despite his hulking size, would manage to slide straight under parkour style. The now energy beam-like looking Charlotte speeding by. Nimble Kumba, the training has really paid off. As impressed, Charlotte couldn't help but compliment his fellow Saiyan. But as Charlotte would continue on his flight to the distance behind, Kumba would be preparing something else to chase after him, as in his palm, a golden energy ball would formulate, spitting electricity.
These two is hard. I ain't gonna lie, bro. And the levels that they got to, bro, is insane, bro, for the time period that they had to train. You know what I mean? Ultra Vegeta, bro, is just a beast. He's just, he's super tough, bro. But I'm wondering if these two can actually really hang with some of the strongest fighters that's in the tournament, bro, because we didn't really get a chance to see them fight because Vegeta made them bluff, bro, just to confuse the rest of the people that they were facing, which was a good tactic in a sense, you know what I mean? But we still didn't get to see what they can really do. So I can't wait to actually see that actually take place. Let's get back to it.
City out in all directions. But it would seem with Charlotte's red seraphim, he would instinctively notice and begin moving already, much to the sudden surprise of Kumba before. What? Reappearing right now in front of his brother, Charlotte's entire body would be already angled with his own energy ball outstretched, as if about to perform the greatest slam dunk of all time. The end result being both Saiyans then colliding, their respective energies straight at each other, their hands coming together until, in the seemingly infinite white expanse where they were training, a gigantic explosion expected from these two overpowered fighters would then erupt in seismic fashion. And from the dark smoke left behind, the two fighters would immediately separate onto opposite sides. We're more or less equal now. You've progressed a whole lot faster than I have, Kumba. I need to step it up. Well, we need to catch up to Vegeta first. I don't want to be forced into one of his silly games again. By the time he's back, we should be able to give him a run for his money. But just as Charlotte and Kumba would begin enjoying this fairly wholesome moment, from a distance, two red arms would be seen traveling at outrageous speeds and straight into their unsuspecting direction. Charlotte, move! Until at the very last second, the two Saiyans would take notice and both would manage to dodge, as the arms that were coming forward would then slam into the ground and be shown to be outstretched like gum from far away. You two forgot about me, huh? My meditation is done. My ascension is complete. Now, let me show you. As for the first time in a while, finally, we would see Goro reappear, the demon from another multiverse, who after constant mental training in a similar fashion to Piccolo, had
Why he remind me of Dawson from Street Fighter, bro? Stretching them arms with the rings around his hand, bro. That's probably where they got the idea to create the character from, bro. But you know, his powers is very interesting, bro. And the way that he was shown fighting Vegeta shows that he can be definitely competition, you know. But I want to see what his meditation has done for him. Let's get back to it.
completely changed appearance, becoming more like a demon sage, complete with 4 arms. Come to me! And immediately showcasing those extra arms, once again, they would stretch out instantly like snakes. He's so much faster! And within a flash, even while prepared and looking straight at Goro now, somehow, both would still find themselves vulnerable, with Goro's arms reaching around from behind and about to constrict both. Don't worry, Kumba. This guy can regenerate. As Charlotte would then unleash his wings and have them swipe in all directions like a violent, perfect defense, instantly slicing off the arm that reached out towards him. My turn then. As Kumba in his divine Ikari form now would showcase a strange yellow portal-like technique that would send Goro's arm into another dimension. Why you? Fine, let's test who's grown strongest the right way. As reeling in pain from his dismembered limbs briefly, Goro would then...
So not only does he have the 4 arms like Tien, bro, but he has the Piccolo abilities to regenerate his limbs, which is dope, you know. But the way that they sliced that boy arms off, they was like, bro, don't play with us like that. You ain't about to wrap us up like that. You know what I mean? That's quite dope. Now let's see what attacks bro has for him. You know what I mean? See if he gives the Saiyans any competition. Let's go.
Regenerate them back in a flash before... All 3 of Konoha's team would then begin generating powerful beams of energy in all different ways and all different colors until... In a 3-way triangle beam clash, all 3 would shoot their shot, literally, as 3 all-powerful beams would now career straight for each other, head on. Training, I see, yeah. But out of nowhere, in the middle of it all, and with his body already lit from the 3 beams' presence, Ultra Vegeta would appear, and without a lick of fear or worry on his expression. Huh? Vegito! What? Instantly leading to all 3 panicking in what looks to be a freak accident in process. Ultimately, though, with no way to stop themselves,
Why would he jump right in the middle of the key blast, though, bro? Like, unless he training himself to see if he could take their attacks, then, you know, maybe testing their powers. But bro, like, that's insane. That's insane work, bro.
God Killer would find himself in the middle of a fluxing ignition that would be creating a fiery, multicolored ball of pure chaos. What? Did we just kill him? And of the three, Goro would be the most worried, having been meditating this entire time and not seen Vegeta since, stumbling over his words as he would hope the worst case wasn't so. As indeed in the center of the three, a giant plume of black smoke would now be rising endlessly. But eventually, a presence would begin to become visible from within inside. Too weak. All of you are far too weak. This won't do at all. As unfathomably, Vegeta would appear, but without a single scratch on him. His power after absorbing King seemingly having put him on a level completely foreign to the others. As looking at his own team now with what looks like disgust, he would continue, What have you fools been doing? You're no stronger now than when I left. Especially you, Goro. How are you only marginally stronger than these other two? Meditation? I knew you were just sleeping. Easy for you to say. But annoyed, Shallot would be far from taking such comments laying down, adding, Not all of us can gain our power just from taking from others. Give me the same ability to take everyone's powers, and we'll see how I do then.
I mean, bro got a good point. You know what I mean? I wonder if Vegeta will be able to hang with them if he wasn't able to absorb them powers or have that boo ability. It probably would put him more at risk, bro. I mean, honestly. Let's get back to it.
You really think that's why you can't beat me? You think I just have access to what's inside me at all times? You poor fool. If you knew what power I possess, the minute I choose to unleash it all and actually make use of it. Well, I suppose you can just wait and see for when that happens. As with this strange foretelling told, folding his arms, he would continue, May I remind you, this isn't a game. There are no rules in this battle for survival we are in. Winning this tournament is the difference between us existing or being erased for eternity. These gods play with us like pawns, using their unfairly high power levels to force us into their games. Everything I do, everything I've done, every single being I've absorbed is for the purpose of tilting that power balance ever so slightly back to us all. Us mortals. But now pointing his finger, he would call out, But you three are not the same. You three are dead weight. Just as I told Cronoa the first time she forced me to be in this sorry team with you. Before, I had no choice. Cronoa could even limit what I could do with my own body. But not now. As suddenly, Vegeto's red demonic seraphim would activate, and he would let out, Now that I've learned the weakness of Cronoa, and all the elder gods for that matter, seems there was always a reason, demon or devil abilities should I say, in particular, just had to be banned in her realm. And as proof of that, just so you three can know your true weakness, I'll let you finally fight warriors that aren't fusion stealing power, as you say. As while Vegeta would be saying this, strangely his arms would begin to fall off as if melted. plopping to the floor, much to the surprise and disgust of Shallot, Cumber, and Goro, before the arms would then miraculously start expanding in size and use tonic pink flubber. Behold, the two fighters who were always supposed to have been in this team. Your replacements. If you three can't manage to defeat them, this is your chance. Prove yourself or die.
Uh-oh. So the two goats is back, bruh.
Damn!
And what makes this way, way, way more interesting is that the other three got to fight for their place to live, bro. That's crazy work. How Vegeta put them in that situation like that. But in a sense, I think he's just making them stronger. You know what I mean? He don't really mean what he's saying. So, but this is gonna be interesting, bro. And they've been training the whole time. You feel me? They ain't been up in there not doing nothing. So I can't wait to see what they can do now. Let's get back to it.
3 clowns. Light work for us, Kakarot. Water! As out of nowhere, finally, the two Saiyans of legend had returned to their feet. Son Goku and Prince Vegeta. Battle torn from God knows how long, training at this point silently, as coming out of Vegito, the two God Killers, one with cyan seraphim and the other with purple, would be covered in lightning as they arrived to show this new team who the OG members that took down the original Dai and Lucif of season 1 and 2 really were. Old versus new in the next exciting episode of UV.
Well, that's the end of the video, you guys. Man, that was a good episode, bro. I ain't gonna lie, bro. Yeah, I mean, Vegito really been putting down that work. You feel me? And bro, it's gonna get even better, bro, in my opinion, bro. You know what I mean? But Vegito to bring Goku and Vegeta back, oh man, this training's gonna be interesting. I wonder what Cronoa is gonna think. And for him to be able to do that in the realm of the Elder Gods, bro, shows that their limitations or their bans that they put on him can't really be banned, bro. He can actually still use his ability. I guess it was all just a mind thing or something, bro. I'm quite interested on how that worked. But that's it for today, you guys. I want to thank y'all for coming through and enjoying content with me today. You know, today is a beautiful day. Make sure you go out there, get some fresh air, get some sun, work out, man. Make sure you take vitamins and take care of yourself, bro. And y'all know the slogan, bro. Believe in yourself because ain't nobody else go do it. Dragon Ball Art 92. I'm out, y'all. Peace.
I'm too positive to be doubtful, too optimistic to be fearful. So all my time I spend cheerful, and I know exactly what I'm here for. I'm too positive to be doubtful, too optimistic to be fearful. So all my time I spend cheerful, and I know exactly what I'm here for. I'm too positive to be doubtful, too optimistic to be fearful. So all my time I spend cheerful, and I know exactly what I'm here for. I'm too positive to be doubtful, too optimistic to be fearful. So all my time I spend cheerful, and I know exactly what I'm here for.